AITA for causing my husband to miss his trip by not packing his bag despite him repeatedly asking. My husband travels for work every few months. He's irresponsible with time and counts on others to do stuff for him using the "I'm tired" excuse. He's the breadwinner, by the way. He had a business trip, and the day of the trip he saw me carrying the laundry basket and said, "Hey, can you pack my bag?" I asked why he didn't do it the night before, and he said he was up all night playing Fortnite. I asked why can't he pack now, and he replied, "I gotta go catch up with the boys before I leave the country." I said no and that he should do it himself. He asked why not, and I told him that I had to do the laundry, then cook for the kids, then help them with homework, then wash the rugs, then clean the messy bathroom, then the playing room, then work on my garden project. He stood there with his eyebrow lifted up as I went on. I suggested he stays home, pack his own bag, and help around till it was time for his trip. He didn't like my suggestion and complained about missing the boys and wanting to see them one last time and say goodbye before he leaves. He begged, but I said no. He then suddenly went inside the bedroom. I thought he was packing, grabbed his phone, keys and jacket and rushed out. I just went about my day. It was 5 o'clock and he hadn't returned yet. I was concerned, thinking he had little time and still hadn't packed yet. He returned home at 6. Walked into the bedroom and started panicking, asking why his bag wasn't packed and ready yet. I told him he should ask himself, since he stayed gone for hours. He said he was counting on me to pack his bag and even sent me a text hoping I'd eventually do it. I didn't see the text, and even if I did, I never agreed, so he shouldn't have assumed I was going to pack his bag for him. He got upset and started packing. His stuff was all over the place and he couldn't even find his papers. He was finally done and left. I then got an angry call from him asking if I was happy. I said why, what happened, and he said he missed his flight. Just like I wanted. He came home and lost it, saying I cost him his business trip, which supposed to earn him money, and made him look unreliable, unprofessional, and compromised his work after I refused to do him this small favor and pack his goddamn bag. I responded that he shouldn't have hung out with his buddies literally hours before his flight, but he said he believed this was done spitefully to get him to sit home with me. I was shocked. No words, just shocked face. He called his friend saying his trip didn't happen, then turned to me and said thanks to me, then proceeded to ask where they were going to meet for dinner. He told me, no trip, meaning I'll be home for the next couple of weeks. Isn't that what you wanted? Great, we'll both now stay home and wallow in misery. God bless. Then walked out. AITA? He said I just caused him issues at work. Should I have packed his bag anyway? Why he couldn't be on the next flight? Because since he missed his flight that the company was paying for, he was required to pay for the other flight or not go. He refused to pay, saying it wasn't his fault anyway, and decided to not go. A husband and wife were in the middle of a massive argument and were giving each other the silent treatment. Suddenly, the husband realized that he needed his wife to wake him at 5 a.m. the next morning for an early business flight. Not wanting to be the first to break the silence and admit defeat, he wrote on a piece of paper, "Please wake me at 5 a.m. He left the note where he knew she would find it. The next morning, the man woke up, only to discover it was 9 a.m. and he had missed his flight. Furious, he started to ask why his wife didn't wake him, when he noticed a piece of paper by the bed. The paper said, "It's 5 a.m. Wake up." NTA. Your husband needs to get his priorities straight. You're not his mommy. You shouldn't have to add packing a bag for him to all the other housework you're doing. Made him look unreliable, unprofessional. So your unreliable, unprofessional husband is annoyed that you didn't go out of your way to make him seem reliable, professional? NTA. Dude sounds like an absolute tool. NTA. Why is your husband behaving like a 5-year-old child? Parents pack their little ones' bags for the trip to Disneyland. Big grown-up people who are old enough to have a job pack their own freaking bags. Especially for a business trip when they may need specific attire or accessories. They don't ask mommy or daddy to do it because they spent the previous night playing games. Then take off for more pleasure activity and get upset when they come home to an empty suitcase. NTA. And I say it serves him right that he missed the flight. Maybe it will teach him a lesson. The lesson being, you didn't marry your mama. Even better, maybe his employer will threaten to fire him if this happens again. That might have more effect than the irritation of his wife, whom he thinks of as his maid and valet. I would have packed all his bags after that. He can go stay with his little friends. He sees you slaving away and this is how he acts. You are cleaning, cooking, managing the kids and have projects of your own, and he still has the audacity to make you pack his undies whilst he goes out and plays with his friends? Yeah, it's a no for me. Your husband does not respect you nor the work you do around the house. He is not a partner, he is an extra child asking to be taken care of. Just throw the whole man away. NTA. AITA? Should I have packed his bag anyway? No. But you should be packing his bags now. Tell him he can come home once he starts acting like an adult and showing you some respect. Seriously, NTA, and I would consider counseling. Even if the rest of your relationship is sound. He's got a weird attitude and entitlement which would be better for everyone if he worked on. NTA. And also, if you miss a flight, the airline in general is pretty good about rebooking you on the next flight. It's not like he had to cancel the whole work trip. Just read the title. NTA. He's an adult and you're not his mother. Edit. Read the post. And are you happy being married to him? NTA. He's your husband, not your child. It was his trip and his responsibility to be prepared. If he's disorganized, he needs to face the consequences of that. NTA. Obviously, for all the reason already given. Why did missing his flight equals missing his trip though? He couldn't get on the next flight because NTA. I already knew the answer just by reading the title. He needs to quit treating you like a servant and pack his own things. Your husband sounds like a bully. The only one responsible for losing the work trip is himself. Wonder why he didn't get another flight. What about his job just to not show up? Oh my god, NTA. If you want to keep this husband, I suggest you either go to couples therapy or continue this behavior and ignore his reactions until he is better. He is extremely entitled and can't take responsibility for his actions. Edit. Op. The conversation below made me think that your husband actually wants to avoid this trip or wants to be fired and blame it on you. That's why he didn't prepare the bag, stayed up late and hanged out before the trip. Also, that's why he is not flying there with another flight. He's tired from playing Fortnite. This says everything. He's an entitled, lazy arsehole. NTA. Why on earth would he just not get the next flight? Who just doesn't go on a long business trip because of a missed flight? This makes no sense. If this story is real, you should divorce this cretin. If it's fake, I commend your story. But the abandoning the trip aspect stretches plausibility. He could have just gotten the next flight. Especially if he was going to be away for weeks. People miss business trip flights for all sorts of reasons all the time. Is this real? NTA. You didn't make him look unprofessional, he is unprofessional. NTA. Do yourself a favor and say you'll pack his bags, but it'll be permanent. NTA. How old is he? 10? He's an adult. It's his trip. You're not his mother nor his maid. He can pack his bag by himself. Guess even if you would have packed the bag he would still complain you did it wrong, but of course. NTA. But he's one with some location flag location flag location flag. NTA. I'm sorry, what? Are you married to a child? This entire post is screaming divorce.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.